day, Shaw might well have wanted to expand on this subject in view of the significant increase in the number of divorces, now well over 150,000 each year in Great Britain. Tonight's drama, Sunchild, presents this very contemporary issue of a marriage breakup, but through the eyes of the child. Laura Goodwin, the young actress who plays Emily, gives an engaging performance that I think will grow on you. But the other interesting performance is that of Twiggy, the former 60s model who started that long, lean, almost anorexic look that's happily not quite as fashionable today. She plays Emily's mother and proves she has genuine acting ability in tonight's role of Mrs. Fenn Harris. Well, whether or not Mrs. Harris or her husband would have passed Shaw's test of fitness for parentage, you can decide.
There's dragons in the flames if you look hard enough. Know that?
Roast apples. They'll have a lovely smell.
They'll burn.
Bet they won't.
Bet they will. Here, I wouldn't mind being a firefighter.
Silly.
Careful, David, not too close.
You're mad.
Probably.
It's my champagne era. You're suddenly producing champagne as if you were a millionaire.
What's so funny?
Here, Em. Come and try some. We're celebrating Dada being at home.
Run and fetch the bottle. It's in the kitchen.
Come on, David.
What's that woman called with the lipstick?
Miss Burrows.
What's she doing here?
Typing, I expect. She comes from London to work for Dada. Perhaps we should invite Miss Burrows.
Foreign exchange.
Oh, hello, dear. It's you.
We're all outside by the bonfire. Why don't you come? It's lovely. Mama and Dada are drinking and having jokes.
Oh, I've got to finish all this before I go back tomorrow. But it was nice of you to think of me.
Do come, please.
Very well. For a minute or two. I could do with a break.
Yeah, you must be needing this.
Bye, Mr. Gavin.
Emily's roast apples.
No, I won't, thank you. It never agrees with me.
Oh, go on, just this once.
Well, if you insist. Perhaps just a sip.
Oh!
Oh,
Goodness, that came out. Wow, that was a good one.
Oh! Hey, where did all those cobwebs come from?
I went up the ladder in the barn.
Don't you remember I told you that ladders can be dangerous?
I was careful.
Well, you mustn't go again till I've tried it. Now listen, I've something to tell you. Mama's made another chocolate cake. It's the most dreadful chocolate cake you ever saw. But the thing is, she's tried very hard, and we don't want her to think that we don't like it, do we? No. So, the plan is that we eat it. We might even ask for more, and we tell her it's delicious. All right?
All right.
It'll be a secret. Okay? Yes. Right. Okay. Up on the shoulders.
It's Uncle Tom. Who's he with?
How's my favourite girl then? Hey?
Robert, good to catch you at home. Thought you wouldn't mind our dropping in.
Of course not, my dear chap.
This is Mark McLeod, my brother-in-law Robert.
Nice to meet you.
And my sister Fen.
How are you?
All right, how are you?
Good. Hello.
In fact, we met in London once. Tom was directing his experimental Hamlet.
Oh.
You probably don't remember. I have a totally memorable face.
I brought him round one evening. Robert was in Africa.
Oh, of course, but you had a beard.
With or without the beard, just as immemorable.
Mark being modest is only slightly worse than Mark being arrogant.
Mama, your face.
Oh, cooking. Let's go in, shall we?
Hello. I've heard about you from Tom. You must be Emily.
Oi.
Mummy made chocolate cake.
Well, I'm afraid it's more of a giant biscuit.
It's lovely, Mama. Uncle Tom,
Yes.
please could I hear the next bit about the owl?
Do sit down, everyone.
Later. I'll have to think of something.
All right.
What's the owl?
Just now it hasn't got a hood. It's Sarah, Uncle Tom tells me.
Would you by any chance like to hear about the hippopotamus who wanted to be a photographer?
Not particularly.
Emily! Why don't you take Mark out and show him your rabbit while I organise tea,
Oh, all right. Do you like rabbits? Come on, then. You know what? This year, Mum said to make apple jelly.
I can't quite believe your mother's the kind of person who likes making jam.
What I don't like is when apples get all creased up skins. Like old people. It'd be awful when Mummy gets lines on her. Even on her legs.
That would be for years. She's pretty young, your mother.
Last year, she was a very grand lady.
I remember. When I met her in London, she had her hair all piled up and earrings.
That's right. She had a lot of grand clothes then. But down here, she doesn't bother. She likes it very much. She tries out all sorts of new things. Like the jam. She's very good at things. Well, not chocolate cake.
Gosh. How about the hippopotamus?
Actually, you needn't bother if you don't want to. I only really like stories from Uncle Tom and Dada. Dada tells me all about Africa. And Uncle Tom does funny voices for all the different animals and people and everything. Thank you very much all the same. Perhaps another time if you're going to come again. The Hopi Indians have stone houses. The man makes the house.
We found you the perfect wife at last.
Me?
Marcia Burrows, Robert's new secretary.
Sexy? Terrific. Well, when can I meet her?
Well, she keeps coming down, hoping to run into you.
That one.
No, I like that one.
You take these.
I used to earn my living.
They're rather good.
Thank you.
That's how she met Robert. She went to take his photograph and walked away with his heart.
Would you like to sit down?
What's your opinion of this Marcia Burrows, Em?
I think she'd be just right for you.
That's if she doesn't fall in love with Robert.
Is that what happens?
Usually. And the more he ignores them, the more they tear their hearts out for him. Till I met Robert, I never knew there were so many lonely women ready to suffer unrequited love. Something I'd never allow myself.
You speak with the arrogance of a beautiful woman who's probably never had to. Could afford to be a little more understanding.
Oh, I understand. Sensible judgment should only be confused by mutual love. That's what I believe, anyhow.
I'm afraid I'll have to be off again.
Oh, darling, when? Surely not so soon.
They want me in Addis on Monday.
How long for this time?
Several weeks, I think.
Well, that means you're only here for 2 more days.
I know. Sorry.
We'd so many things planned for next week.
You're away too much, Dada.
The little magic mouse said to the big fat owl, "If you promise never to scare any little girls or little boys again, I could give you your hoot back." The owl glared and stood for a long time and eventually said, "Oh, all right, if you insist." The little magic mouse scampered across the straw to the other side of the barn till he was in front of the owl. He looked at the owl and he scrunched up his little magic nose and he went, "Pip, pip, 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 ping." With that, the owl began to hoot again. He flew around the barn. Ooh, ooh. But there were no little girls or boys around, so that was all right. "Remember your promise," said the little magic mouse. The owl nodded, closed his eyes, and never scared a little boy or a little girl again. And they all slept happily ever after.
I wouldn't mind how many times you told that story.
Are you liking it better here than in London?
Much, much, much more. You know that lady that Daddy was telling you about? Marcia Burroughs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think perhaps you and her...
I dare say. I'm apparently vulnerable to almost any pretty woman.
What's that mean?
That means I can never say no to a girl who wants me to say yes.
You mean love them?
Not exactly. More cheer them up.
Perhaps you'll be able to cheer up Miss Burroughs.
Perhaps. Doesn't that church clock keep you awake?
No, I like it.
I hope they don't keep you awake. Night-night.
Night. Don't shut the door.
Oh, nearly forgot. Look what I've got. A little magic mouse. Night-night.
Night. Come on, Smokey. It's time to get up.
How lovely.
Oh, how did you know that muesli was just what I wanted this morning?
Just eat.
Come on, Poppet. Morning.
David says his father and Coral, his stepmother, sleep in separate beds.
No.
David says Coral says it's because she doesn't like being so near his father snoring. Will you help David and me with our bird town today, Dada? It's going to have turrets where they can go in. And a restaurant with birdseed and everything.
Afraid I have to be off this evening, darling.
Oh.
Perhaps I could help you a bit this afternoon.
Will you be back in time for the nativity play?
I'll try, promise.
You wouldn't want to miss that.
No.
Feel a bit guilty about Miss Burroughs. Would you be very kind of make her a cup of tea?
Oh. All right. Look, brought you this.
Thank you, dear. My, I'm not used to such spoiling.
Dad has got to leave tonight.
He works very hard, your daddy.
You've got nice eyes with nothing on them.
Oh, I don't know about that. When I was a little girl like you, I had lovely skin. Fresh as a daisy. Nothing but soap and water in those days. But when we get older, I expect even your mummy with her lovely skin wears a little something sometimes.
She doesn't. Only at night she puts stuff on her eyes. Dadda will be back for the nativity play anyway.
Good, dear. It's lovely tea.
Good.
Thank you.
Hello, Mama.
Oh, hi, darling.
Can David come to supper?
Not tonight, I don't think.
But why? He hasn't been for 2 days.
Because Mark's coming.
Who?
You know, that tall man who came here with Uncle Tom.
Oh, yeah. He kept wanting to tell me a story about a hippopotamus. I didn't want to hear it, actually. Why is he coming?
Because he's on his way to London. He rang to ask if we could drop in for a drink. I felt I had to invite him to supper, really. It would have been a bit mean not to, wouldn't it?
I suppose so. Why the grown-up plan always work and not children's?
Grown-ups' plans don't always work out, miss. They can go wrong just as often.
Wish Dad was here.
I know, darling. Come on. Do you want to have supper with us?
Got to do my homework.
Whatever you like. It's good to see you. Would you like to sit down?
You're up early.
No, it's funny, isn't it? I suddenly felt like making something this morning.
When on earth are we going to eat all that? Just you and me.
I don't know. Now, I've got a surprise for you. Shut your eyes. All right, you can open them now.
He says he's been on a safari. He hasn't been working at all.
Oh, he has, very hard. I had a letter.
When's he coming home?
He didn't say. Now hurry up, or you'll be late.
Will you walk me to the end of the drive?
Oh, not this morning.
Why?
Hurry up, Em. I can hear Mrs. Buckle hooting.
Hello? Good morning. I thought it might be you.
Hello, dear.
Where's Mama?
Don't look like that. Nothing's happened. Mamma's gone to London.
What are you doing here?
David and I have come to fetch you home for tea in the night.
The night? Mama didn't tell me. When's she coming back?
Tomorrow. We thought your night away could be a little treat.
Why's she gone to London?
Business, I expect. Even mummies have business to attend to, you know. Come along, David.
Must have stepped in something.
There's no need to be cheeky, thank you, David.
Mama? Oh, why? What do you have to do in London? All right. Bye. That was Mama. Business. She says she's going to a party.
Lucky old her. Coral and my father never go to parties, do you, Coral?
Now come along, you two.
Think it ought to be higher.
I don't suppose the birds would mind either way. Perhaps your Uncle Tom could give us some advice. He's a theatre man, isn't he?
Uncle Tom can't help with anything when he's got one of his girlfriends around. But we could try his friend Mark. He's here too. He's quite nice.
Right.
Careful.
I think we ought to have another window here.
Right. I think we need some more glue.
What have you been doing?
Oh, sleeping.
You're never usually tired in the afternoons.
What are you up to?
We're making a bed table. Mark could do with some help in the kitchen.
Right. Come on.
Oh, darling. How lovely.
Thank you.
And forward and back and forward and but that's it, you've nearly got it. Very good. That's it. Relax a bit more. Clean yourself out. That's very good. Woo! Woo! You can't do that. If you've got it by this time next week, I'll give you a five.
Can we ask David to stop tomorrow?
Afraid not, darling. We're off to the north tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, Mark's invited us to stay to see his flat and the theatre and everything. It'll be fun. We're going to have a lovely lunch somewhere on the moors.
I'm not coming.
Em.
David and I have got plans. Why do you always have to spoil our plans?
One would suspect it for a shop of witchcraft. Would find in it the fat of serpents, spawn of snakes, Jews' spittle, and their young children's ordure, and all these for the face. Observe my meditation now. What thing is in this outward form of man to be beloved? Man stands amazed to see his deformity in any other creature but himself. But in our own flesh, though we bear diseases which have their true names, only tamed from beasts, as the most ulcerous wolf and swinish measle, though we are eaten up of lice and worms, and though we continually bear about us a dead and rotten body, we delight to hide it in rich tissue. All our fear, nay, all our terror, is lest our physician should put us in the ground to be made sweet.
Okay, that's it for today. Lights! I suppose we should be grateful for at least one lighting cue, that's right. Pick up at Act 3 tomorrow. Deborah, darling, a little less slap, don't you think? Don't want to frighten the children.
Hope it didn't frighten you, Emily. It's not exactly a pantomime, is it? This is what we have to put up with.
Oh, it's dreadful.
Oh, well, it's luxury compared to some. I'm sorry, I'll be as quick as I can. Shall I?
Oh, don't worry, we'll wait out here. Here. Come on, it won't be long. Oh. Hello, love.
Here we are. You take your coat.
Thank you.
I've put Emily in there.
Okay. Come on.
I'll put the kettle on.
Lovely.
What a load of old junk.
Mark's tidied it up as best he can. It's only for one night. You are an old grumbler sometimes.
I'm cold.
Well, get into bed. Headache gone? Good. Come on, cheer up. We'll have a lovely lunch somewhere on the moors tomorrow and then we'll go home.
good.
Tell you what, I thought now just might be the time to tell you the story of the hippopotamus.
Not tonight, thank you very much. Mama, where are you going to sleep?
On the sofa in the sitting room.
Don't worry about Mama. It's very comfortable.
Sleep well. See you in the morning, all right?
Night, Em.
Don't switch the light off in the hall.
Okay, darling. Come on, Em. Eat up. What's the matter with it?
I don't want it.
But you ordered it.
I've changed my mind. I was the one who stole your hanky.
What handkerchief?
Didn't you miss it? You dropped it outside Mama's room that morning.
I didn't miss it. Can I have it back?
Afraid not. I let it float down the stream. I suppose I could have saved it, but I decided not to.
Emily, you've never done anything like that before, have you?
Of course not. I knew it was wrong. I just felt like doing it.
If you really don't want this, can I have it?
We'll talk about this later. I have to admit, you're better at trumpets than I am at wings. Ow!
Will Daddy be back in time?
I hope so.
star that shone in Bethlehem, its bright ethereal ray, to guide 3 kings and show to them the place where Jesus lay. Shine on your path all through the years, to guide, to comfort and to cheer, and bless you on your way.
You were marvellous, darling.
Why didn't Dad come? What happened to him?
He rang me from Cape Town. His plane was delayed. He was dreadfully upset.
I wanted him to come.
No, I know, but there was nothing he could do. He'll be back later tonight. I'm going to the airport to fetch him.
I wanted him to come.
Let's go. Oh, you were so good too.
Shall I put on something else?
Oh, no, please, if you don't mind. I enjoy the wrestling. I watch most matches.
Do you really?
Hmm.
Have you ever been to a real one?
As a matter of fact, I have. I go quite often.
Who with?
Well, I go by myself. The first time was a little worrying, but now I think nothing of it.
Gosh.
Now, isn't it time you went to bed? Your mother said they'd be very late.
Mama always goes to meet him, no matter what time or how far. She's there.
They're very devoted, one can see.
Dad will be here when I come down for breakfast. He might bring me something.
That's good. You're lucky. You have a lovely daddy.
I know.
I'll be up myself when I finish this. All right. Good night.
You've been all right then?
Of course.
It's the longest I've ever been away.
I've great reserves of activity. I've no trouble in filling my days.
You know, I think after all these years that I've begun to believe you about that. You're much better than I would ever be. It's strange, you know, what contortions of the mind distance brings about. I had terrible fantasies. Quite unreal. Racked nerves. I'd wake up shaking every morning for no reason. It was quite ridiculous. Worst ones were about you.
About me?
Yeah. This funny instinct that this time I was away for too long. Some kind of pressure would be put on you. Or that you'd be lonely down here. Perhaps that you wouldn't miss me, I don't know.
Of course I missed you. And so did Emily, terribly.
Good. I shall try never to be away again for so long.
You must take some sleeping pills and sleep late tomorrow.
It's all just the same. I must have been mad. M.
It's lovely.
Yes, an old man I met in Kenya carved it for me. They let it sit on the seat beside me on the aeroplane.
He's nearly the same height as me.
Yes. Who?
Is.
Come on, let's have breakfast.
Oh! He's nearly as tall as me.
Got something else, too. But that'll have to wait till Christmas.
Oh, God, Christmas with your mother.
Why do we always have to go to Grandma's for Christmas?
Because.
Leave it, Emily. I can see you're not liking it. It's the sherry. Such peace here tonight. There's a contradiction for you, isn't it? I never eat in here when I'm alone. I find it restless. This place is peaceful when you're here. Restless when you're not. But then, perhaps it's my weakness, restlessness. Would you say so, Robert? I thrived on change. Awful for you, come to think of it. I was only thinking the other day, Robert must have had such a jagged childhood.
It had its compensations. It was an exciting life.
But the psychologists say today that children need security, not ups and downs. Well, then, here is a product of security. And look at her. Oh, perhaps there's something in it. I shall be very happy to go to my grave thinking that my granddaughter, at least, will never suffer what our father suffered. That's a good thought, isn't it, child?
Mama,
Happy Christmas, darling.
happy Christmas. Where are you going?
Just out for a moment.
Why? Can I come with you?
No, I won't be long.
Oh, please, Mama.
I said no. You get dressed and take your stocking into our room. I'll be back by then and we can all open it together.
But what are you going out for?
You are an inquisitive thing. Maybe it's something to do with Christmas surprises. So you better not say anything. Promise?
Promise. Dada. Dada?
Darling, happy Christmas. It's still pretty early.
Shall I start?
Well, let's just wait a few minutes, shall we?
I absolutely refuse to come here ever again for Christmas.
I know it's not much fun for any of us, but the poor old girl, she looks forward to our coming the whole year.
Poor old girl, she's an evil old woman.
Darling, please.
Well, she is.
Ben.
You can do what you like next year.
We'll talk about it later.
You won't change my mind.
Van.
What a silly old argument.
Quite. Why don't you come over by the fire, Em?
Mama, isn't it?
I suppose so. I suppose I just can't stand the thought of three-handed bridge this evening, cold turkey and disgusting salad.
Oh, we'll all be home in 24 hours. And, Em, we've got a plan.
What plan?
Well, the one thing that Mama and I really need is a holiday. I've been working too hard, and Mama looks a bit... doesn't she? So I'm going to take her away for a few days in the sun.
But what would happen to me?
Well, Marcia Burrows will come and stay at home and look after you.
Marcia Burrows.
Ah, so you are. Time for bridge.
Mama and Dad are going on holiday.
Quite right, too. Parents need to get away from their children. Very boring staying at home all the time.
Well, I'd like to have a really boring life if Mama and Dad are there all the time.
Stuff and nonsense, child.
You be a good girl, okay? Come on. Bye.
Do you ever disapprove of anything?
Of course. Why do you ask?
I don't know. Sometimes you seem very disapproving. What do you disapprove of?
Well, obvious big things. And then on an everyday level, the things they spring from. Unkindness, for instance. And some methods of kindness, too.
What do you mean?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Well, simply, when there's a choice in the way of doing things, I believe in absolute honesty from the start, of concealing nothing. It saves so much of... Oh, thank you, dear. Oh, that's good.
Are you ever going to get married?
Oh, yes, I hope so. One day.
Mama married Daddy when she was very young.
Your mother's a very beautiful woman. Clever, too.
I know.
We don't all have that good fortune.
Oh. I think you're quite clever. Mama can't knit like you.
Though I can't compete with her cooking.
Still, I think you'd make a good wife for someone. Has no one ever asked you?
Do you want proper grown-up answers to all these questions, Emily?
Of course.
Well, if you really want to know, a man did propose to me once. He was called Derek, and he had one leg longer than the other. But I didn't want to marry him. Oh, nothing to do with his leg, of course. He just wasn't prepossessing. Not like your daddy. There was nothing you could put your finger on and say, that's Derek. Goodness me, I don't know what's made me talk like this. As my mother always said, the quickest way to self-pity is a glass of sherry. There, now, I think that's everything.
What are you going to do when you get back to London?
I shall be tidying my little house. After a week away, it'll need a good going over.
Poor you.
Not at all. I enjoy getting straight again. And there's a lot of work to catch up on after all this holidaying. Your daddy promised me that if I manage to get through a big report by the end of the week, he'll take me to the opera.
Mama hates the opera.
Yes, so I hear. There's Mrs. Buckle. Goodbye, Emily.
Hello, my beauty. Turn around.
Off we go.
Nobody thrown these away. I hate dead flowers.
Oh, don't get cross, Mama. You've only just come back.
Sorry.
Aren't you glad to be at home?
Extremely. Come on, let's have a picnic in here with all this stuff we brought. You can lay the table in.
I had a very interesting letter from you and David, Em, about this fabulous woman, Marcia Burrows. You spelt fabulous wrong.
Well, she is.
You gave her a great write-up. What makes you think I'd like her?
Just wood. She cleans people's shoes. She doesn't sleep all the time like that other girl you brought. She's dying to get married. You just wait. You'll love her.
What do you think, Fred?
Made for each other. Come on, Em, plates. A toast. To Tom and Marcia Burrows.
Oh, Marcia. Oh, Marcia.
Coral got stinking drunk the other night. She fell down the back stairs and twisted her ankle. It was quite funny, really.
Really?
Coral hits my father when she gets drunk. They have a real old ding-a-dong. My father usually comes off worst. He's not as strong as Coral.
Poor him.
It's your mum.
Hope you don't mind my coming here without permission.
You can come in any time.
I just wanted to show you these.
Why don't you come right in?
Oh, no. I'm off to make you two an amazing tea.
Yummy!
She's a smashy young mother. Where's your father this weekend?
Working in Brussels. He's always working.
That's men. Perhaps in the summer we could make a restaurant in here and ask the grown-ups. We'd have to think of getting my father without Coral.
Of course we couldn't have candles. Otherwise the whole place would go up in flames.
Of course not, stupid.
That could be Dada coming back from Brussels.
Come on.
Oh, him again. He hasn't been here for ages.
He's your mother's boyfriend.
He's not!
Look who's here after all this time. Isn't that a lovely surprise?
Hello. How's the bird town getting on?
We need a bit of help, actually.
Oh, right.
Oh, not now, for heaven's sake. Mark's only just arrived.
What's the amazing tea going to be?
Oh, darling.
But you said in the barn.
I know, but we didn't know Mark was coming then, did we?
What difference does that make? He probably likes some too.
Emily, you are the most selfish child sometimes. You only ever think of what you want.
You don't sit your word, that's all. Come on, David.
I'll do you some sausages when you come down.
I expect they want a private talk. Grown-ups are always wanting private talks.
So boring.
Why don't you go and listen? There's nothing else to do.
I don't think we ought to.
Come on, Sissy. If it's too boring, we'll come back.
Oh, all right.
Anyhow, it was torment.
At least you look better.
Oh, there was Sam.
What's torment?
Shut up, stupid. Torment, torment.
He's no idea. No idea what's going on in my mind anymore.
Perhaps it's just a bad patch. Don't manage to have regular bad patches.
It's a bad patch for me, all right. Not really helped by you.
Shall I be on?
Silly.
I dropped into your life by accident. Felt compelled to entertain you a little. Help. I didn't mean...
But you're not just an entertainer anymore.
No. But you won't have a bank on me for guaranteed assurance, will you? I'm not good at that.
I'm going.
Very interesting looking at a muddy old pond, I'll say.
Oh, David, what's the matter?
What's the matter with me? Ever since Mark, what's his name, has been here, you've been mooning around. I thought at one moment you were going to cry.
Silly, I'm not stupid.
I'm bored, I'm cold, I'm going home.
What the bloody hell are you doing here? Fen, what's the meaning of this?
Robert.
Well, what's happened? Well, why is he here? Can I trust my wife now? Can't I trust you, Fen? I'm sorry, I thought the arrangement was...
It was. I'm sorry, Robert. We broke the arrangement this afternoon.
Well, arrangements get broken. I'm sorry I shouted. It was a shock. I just wasn't expecting...
I'll be on my way.
No need, really.
It was the first time, honestly. Just tea. Robert, it was the first time, honestly.
All the same, we've broken our word. I apologize.
Well, that's all right, Edmund. That's all right, really. Might as well have a drink now you're here, mightn't we, Fen? Oh, perhaps we'd better talk it all over a bit further.
Really, Robert?
There's no need to behave so bloody well. I can't go.
No, get me a drink. Get me a drink if you will.
Emily girl. Got back early to give you a surprise. I thought...
Why did you get cross with Mark?
I was tired. You know how grown-ups get. I was expecting just you and Mama. Decided Mark gave me a fright. Silly, really. Sorry.
Everyone's been bad-tempered today. David ran away from me. I've never seen him cross before.
I expect he'll come back. People get used to people. Even if you get quite cross with someone you know, it's hard to leave them for good.
What have you been doing, Dada?
I went to a very boring party at the Russian embassy last night. They gave me so much vodka, I made rather a good speech. Afterwards, I took Marcia Burrows for a dinner of raw fish. She doesn't have much fun.
I can't imagine Marcia Barrows in a party dress. She wears such old woman's clothes.
Not like Mama.
Was the raw fish alive? Mama will laugh when she hears about it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I shouldn't say anything about it to Mama. Because the funny thing is, she can't even bear the thought of raw fish. Now, let's go down and help Mama. Sleep well, darling. There's still time for us to do something.
Oh, we could do something. Put on a good face for Emily's sake. Lead our own lives and be horribly civilized.
Well, if we did that, for my part, there'd be no other woman. Don't you see? Don't you see that I don't want any other woman ever? Only you?
You haven't been with me much in that case.
I know. What can I do till I retire? I can't change the nature of my work. You understandably don't want to come with me on trips. What's happened exactly, do you think?
Simple. You were away, Mark was there.
But at Christmas you admitted that it was just an infatuation. A passing thing, you said. Soon over if you didn't see him again. I quite understood, didn't I? Wasn't I understanding? Well, I meant to be. I did understand how it was after all, my being away so much.
I'm sorry, I can't lie to you. It's got out of hand. We missed each other much more than we foresaw. Irresponsible, but it's happened. What can we do?
Well, things only happen because you want them to. Things can only have happened because there's some lack here. Couldn't we try again? A bit harder. Please. And I'll cancel my next trip at the hell with the government.
We could go back to the old arrangement.
What arrangement? We never really discussed it. You mean my accepting Mark as your lover and in return you don't leave me?
Perhaps we could try that.
I don't think I could bear that, darling. I'm not a very sophisticated man in that way. I could even be a jealous man.
If only you could explode at me sometimes instead of being so bloody tolerant all the time. How far can I...
I'm not rage against you because I love you. I'm not a raging man. Now don't cry. You never cry. Look, we've been so lucky up till now.
And then, what would she do? This house and everything. I've been driving myself crazy thinking what to do. And all those good years we've had together, and you, the best husband in the world.
Emily. It's all right, she's asleep. Couldn't we be a little nostalgic for the future? Wouldn't it be better that way?
Why do I have to destroy the things I love best? Why do I sit watching myself doing things I've no wish to do? Caught up in a sort of terrible compulsion. And you don't even condemn me.
How could I condemn the thing I love most on earth? Love isn't about condemnation, silly thing. Night, ma'am.
Dada, you and Mama aren't going to get divorced, are you?
Well, when you grow up, Em, you'll discover that all marriages are different. And some married people like being together all the time and they never get bored. And others like parting for a little bit and then having all the excitement of coming back together again. And one way suits some people, the other way suits others. Do you understand?
What kind of couple are you and Mama?
Well, to be quite honest with you, in the beginning, we enjoyed being together most of the time. And then my job changed and I had to keep going away. I mean, we were sad about the partings, of course, but looking forward to being together again was terribly exciting. Marvelous.
Is it still?
Of course.
Good.
And it always will be.
I wish Mark didn't seem to love Mama. It makes it so complicated when she's really ours, doesn't it?
Well, Mark's just a friend. Mama has lots of friends. It's strange if people didn't love her.
Do girls love you like men love Mama?
Funny ideas you have. Well, there's been no need to find out. There is no need to find out.
It would be very useful if they did. Say Mama got run over or something. Do you love Marcia Burrows?
Well, she's very nice and kind. What do you think?
She's not bad at banana custard, but I can't really like her shoes.
David! I was coming to see if I could have lunch. Dad and Coral are going out.
Of course. I brought you this.
I've been wanting that like anything.
I know.
Where'd you get the money?
My father.
You must be richer than my father. I'll pay you back gradually.
No, it's a present.
Thanks.
David, they say they might get divorced.
Divorce? No.
They might. I heard them talking about it last night.
About actual divorce?
Well, not really divorce, just jabbering on about love and all that sort of thing. They both sounded sad.
It might be all right.
I wouldn't want them to change.
People marry and divorce, marry and divorce. You know.
Well, they shouldn't.
Hello, old man, all right?
Thanks for the knife, Mr. Harris.
Mama, can David stay all day?
Of course, anything you like.
I'd better go and fetch Marcia.
Incredible train fever.
Well, I don't want to be late. You and David coming with me?
I don't mind. If you want to sit at the station for 10 minutes, do what you like.
If you don't mind my saying so, it's a pleasure to type something a bit more hopeful.
Yes, the supply system's working at last. Or appears to be. Conditions in the camp have improved.
You must be pleased.
Well, they could hardly have got worse.
Such a well-composed letter.
I've always enjoyed trying to get the best out of the English language.
No? No. You know we can't. I know. I can't. Please, you've got to help me. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
You talk for ages on the telephone. To Mark, I suppose. You're very good at making cloud food. Are you and Daddy going to get divorced?
Divorced? What on earth makes you think that?
You two don't seem so nice to each other these days. And Dad is away so much. And then you and Mark.
What about me and Mark?
He keeps coming here.
He won't anymore.
Good. It would be better if he didn't come anymore.
Are you really worried about all this, Em?
David says people get married and divorced, and married, divorced, just like that.
Some people do, of course. And very sad it is, especially for the children. But Dada and I have never discussed divorce. Honestly, darling, why should we? We have been having a bit of a difficult time lately, it's true. Grown-ups, you know, just like children, get bad-tempered and tired and irritable and things. And one of the horrid things at your age is when you realise that your own parents are just as hopeless as anyone else.
You're not. You and Dad are the best in the world, and I want you to go on forever and ever.
Oh,
Do grown-ups ever get jealous?
Of course, why?
I think Dad is jealous of Mark, and Mark's jealous of Dada.
Whatever makes you think that?
I think they both love you.
Nonsense.
Anyhow, do you think they're jealous of each other?
Maybe. A little.
In that case, it's a good thing Mark's going away, because you're Dada's. Please be forever, Mama. Don't quarrel anymore, will you?
We'll try not to, I promise. And you mustn't worry anymore, okay?
All right. Trouble is, everyone loves you, just like David said.
Oh, nonsense. Em, I've been meaning to tell you. I had a letter from school last week. Mrs. Riley said you're not trying at all this term.
She would. Everyone hates Miss Riley. She's always complaining.
You were doing so well last year.
No point trying anymore.
I haven't shown the letter to Dada. He wouldn't be very pleased, would he?
Oh, please don't show it to him. Please. I will try.
Well, all right. This time. But any more complaints, and I'll tell him straight away.
Thank you, Mama.
Come on. I'll help you with the clouds. Remember what I told you, masses of water.
Get set. Go!
I thought you weren't coming. Come on, let me tie you up.
Well, as we won last year, Em, don't you think we could be let off this year, darling?
Of course not. You've got to win again this year. Hurry up, you won't get a good place.
Tie us up then. But I warn you, I'm not in the mood for running, and I'm not really dressed for the occasion.
Certainly not.
Okay, back up. Get a good place. I'll meet you at the winning post, okay?
Okay, darling.
Take your mark. Get set. Go!
Sorry, our luck seems to have run out.
It's all right. Mama!
I'm up here, darling.
Who's coming?
I'm making it up for Dada. It's so hot these nights.
It's not that hot in my bedroom.
Mother and I have got a surprise for you. Friday night, we're taking you and David to Uncle Tom's production of Twelfth Night.
Goodie.
Then, and here's another surprise, you're going to the seaside. You and Dada and David and Marcia Burrows.
What?
Oh, don't look so surprised. She needs a holiday.
But what about you?
Well, I'm afraid I've got to be in Edinburgh for the week, photographing plays. You know, I told you I wanted to try and get back into photography, and something's come up. Oh, darling, I'm sorry. It's awful timing, I know, but it can't be helped. I'll be back, I promise. Dad has booked you into a big hotel close to the beach.
Hope you have a horrid time.
You know the other night at your Uncle Tom's play? The parents didn't look all that fortified, I didn't think.
Oh, they're quite happy sometimes.
Think about grown-ups. If they decide on divorce, like we decided in a game of marbles. Heads we do it, tails we don't. That's what I think.
Sorry we were so long. Marcia gets distracted by china shops. She'd have bought 24 egg cups if I hadn't stopped. Let's go. Hmm?
Want to go?
Oh, I wouldn't be much good.
Mama loves kind tea.
Well, Mother and I have different kinds of stamina. She's physically energetic. Admirably so. I'm, well, more of the persistent kind. Privately persistent, so that you'd never guess.
But are you going to go on and on being a secretary forever and ever till you get really old?
I don't know what that has to do with anything. But probably not. Who can say?
Not a bad start.
Nice win.
You all right? Enjoying yourself? It's only 2 more days. It's funny how the time goes. I think it's been a good time, though, don't you? Being with you so much.
But I wish Mama.
I know. I know. What's the matter, Em? You never cry.
I know. I hate crying. You smell of the sea.
Got sand in my hair. Here, it's a handkerchief. Did you want me to read to you?
Emma and I are going to finish it.
if you like.
Goody!
It's so lovely you're home. I missed you very much, you know. Now come here. Tell me which of these you like best. Then we'll have huge banana sundaes for lunch. Oh no, not these. They're awful. Maybe one of these.
Is this the plane you were photographing?
One of them. Dada said your swimming was much better this year.
Does Dada know that Mark was in the play?
Of course. Emily? Emily?
I'm here, in the cart.
What are you doing here? I was wondering where you were. Oh.
Will you help me down?
Yes, of course. Come on, Pooch. Oh, this is nice. Can I sit down? Thank you.
Look, Mama, I bought some candles. David and I had this plan for a restaurant one night. For you and Dada, and David's father, and perhaps Marcia Burrows. We were wondering if you could borrow a tablecloth, if you could help us with the food. Secretly. We're going to make the menus this afternoon. What do you think it ought to be? What's the matter?
I don't think you'd better make any plans for a restaurant. You see, Dada and I aren't going to be here together anymore.
Why not?
Well, oh God, I didn't want to have to tell you any of this until the end of the holidays. Then we wanted to tell you together. But with all your plans...
But I bought the candles. What am I going to tell David?
You'll have to tell David the truth. We're not going to be married anymore, darling.
But I bought the candles, Mama.
I know. But it's all over, really. Dada and I can't live together anymore. We've tried, but we can't.
Why not? Don't we love each other anymore?
Oh, yes. I expect we'll always love each other forever and ever, just like we'll always love you. Oh.
And I don't understand. If you both love each other, then I don't understand.
I wish I did. I wish we did. I wish I understood why things go wrong and then can't be mended again, no matter how hard you try. It's hard to explain.
And what will happen here, to me?
Oh, darling, whatever happens, you'll be all right, I promise you. We haven't worked out the details. We've just agreed to part.
And you, Mama? What will happen to you?
To me? Well, the plan is I leave at the end of the holidays and go and live with Mark. But I'll see you lots and lots, of course. As many weekends as you want. Wherever I am, I'll come for you.
Dada?
Dada's decided at last not to work so hard anymore. No more trips abroad. He'll be here most of the time looking after you.
And you, Mama? You wouldn't get married, would you? You and Mark, you can't love him.
I haven't thought about marriage. Come on, help me get the last of the roses and then we'll have tea. And, I do promise you one thing. Dada and I will always be friendly. We'll never have squabbles over you and things.
Why did it have to happen to you and Dad after all these years?
I don't know. Now, come on.
I think if you really try, it will be all right again.
There's no point in thinking that, really.
grown-ups sometimes change their minds.
Well, sometimes they don't.
I thought Mama and Daddy would.
Sorry they didn't, I must say. Who's going to look after you both?
Marcia Burrows. For a little while, anyway.
Will your father marry Marcia Burrows?
Don't be silly. Mama made this arrangement for me to be out of the house.
Grown-ups arrangements. What do you want to do?
Go home. Perhaps I could stop her.
But you're meant to be staying here till your father comes back for you later.
Now, how's the cake going down? Where are you off to, Emily?
Home.
Oh, my God, that's torn it. Get after her, David, quickly. Run, boy, run, run! Oh, my God! Emily!
They've gone.
I know.
You'd better come back to us.
No, thanks. It's all right. I'll stay here.
We'll get into trouble. Sure you don't want me to stay with you?
No,
Come up any time, won't you?
thanks.
All right.
Marcia, can you just open the house up, please?